Friday morning's here talking to Willie Waffle about movies. But first of all, I want to know, how's your fantasy hockey lineup looking?
I'm in the playoffs. Granted, it's the consolation round, but I'm winning, so I might be in third place for the year.
Nice. Well, hopefully things work out for you.
We say that because, well, you guys called me a few minutes ago, and I kind of didn't answer the phone because I was slightly engrossed in checking out my stats from last night and maybe didn't hear the phone ring.
Hey, man, I get it. It's go time. You got to do what you got to do.
It's the playoffs. You're all in, baby.
Yep.
I should have grown a playoff beard, but, I don't look good with a beard.
At least you know your boundaries.
That's right.
There you go. So we're going to put you on the spot. We'll do some movies here this weekend. We got a couple movies we're going to talk about. Let's start off with, I don't know. Let's go with Meet the Blacks to start with.
Well, yeah, Meet the Blacks. You got Mike Epps as this guy from Chicago who comes into a ton of money, so he moves his family to Beverly Hills, and it's the night of The Purge. So basically, Meet the Blacks is a parody of The Purge starring Mike Epps.
All right.
And those words were ringing in my ears last night as I left God's Not Dead 2. As I'm walking down the hall, and I see the theater where they're playing Meet the Blacks, and I said to myself, do I really need to see Meet the Blacks? Do I want to see Meet the Blacks? So I kept going, and I went to the ticket counter, and I got my refund.
Okay.
And I want to say I'm sorry for not seeing the movie, but the truth is I'm not that sorry.
Aha.
Let's face it, this is going to be a bawdy movie. It's going to have a lot of potty humor. It's going to have too much Mike Tyson. I think we know what we're getting in this movie.
Too much Mike Tyson. Uh-oh.
What's wrong with that?
Wonder if his tiger's going to be in the movie, too.
Right.
That might have made it a better movie.
All right.
All right.
So, you kind of consider this like the basketball box score where they say DNP, coach's decision. That's what I did. Did not play.
All
Waffle
right.
decision.
That works. Waffle's decision. I like that. So the other movie which you did allude to, let's dig into that one.
Yeah, that's right. God's Not Dead 2, a movie that made me long for a chance to see Batman versus Superman again.
Wow.
Hey, listen, I don't want you to hate God's Not Dead 2 because of its themes and its faith. I want you to hate it for being a stupid, horribly made movie. And it's just got a whole bunch of people who used to be famous in this movie. Jesse Metcalf, Pat Boone, Robin Givens. I know Robin Givens is still acting. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
And it's all led by Melissa Joan Hart, who plays a devout Christian, one of the best teachers at her local high school. And when a young student who's lost in the world, who's suffering because her brother died, asks a question comparing the teachings of Gandhi to the teachings of Jesus, the teacher gives a pretty decent answer. But she mentioned Jesus. And now the school's up in arms. And the ACLU's coming in to sue. And we have to wonder, will Melissa Joan Hart lose everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, here's the problem. There's a good movie to be made about faith and about open discussions of all viewpoints. This is not that movie. This movie is just, let's set up a straw man, let's set up a simple scenario, we'll fan the flames of the people who feel that Christians are being persecuted, and we'll fill it with all sorts of bad acting and bad screenwriting. And I'm looking at you, Ray Wise, and I want to blame the director. The director really kind of tells Ray Wise, who portrays the ACLU attorney, and who's kind of like the lead villain in the movie, you're Satan. So, every time something bad happens to Melissa Joan Hart, they do a quick close-up of Ray Wise, and he's got that look on his face with a devilish grin like, I'm going to get you, you little Christian girl. And it's way over the top. It's so over the top, it became funny. It really turned God's Not Dead 2 into a comedy at one point.
Wow. All right, Willie, got to ask, what are you giving it for score?
I'm saying half a waffle.
Half a waffle. All right. So I know we're a week into things here, but why don't we quickly, instead of talking about DVDs this week, unless you want to look a different direction, why don't we talk a little bit about Batman versus Superman? Even though we're a week in, we didn't get to talk about it last week. If you want to offer a couple seconds of thoughts on it.
I was surprised that they ruined Batman. I mean, I already knew Superman stinks, but this is unforgivable. You hurt Batman. And it's not even so much because of Ben Affleck. It's hard to say if Ben Affleck did a good job or a bad job, just simply because Well, there's so many other things wrong with the movie. It's a slog of a movie. It's got all these empty scenes. It's got Henry Cavill as Superman, who is the most boring actor on the planet. The man is stiff. He's like a board. There's no charisma to this guy. There's no spirit to this guy. I think he single-handedly makes it horrible. Horrible.
Wow.
Yeah, and the story just seems to be kind of coming out of nowhere. Lex Luthor is brilliantly played by Jesse Eisenberg, but you have no reason why he's in the movie. I mean, they need more background from him, more explanation about where he's coming from, what he's trying to accomplish. Instead, he just does stuff because, well, we have to have a bad guy who does stuff. So that kind of happens here, too. I feel like it's a dud. I feel like, there's just not enough spirit in here. There's nothing entertaining in here. And Warner Brothers is so scared of the reaction to Batman versus Superman, they're going back and they're filming new scenes for their next superhero movie, Suicide Squad, because they want to put more humor into it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's massive.
That is. So, and that's actually, it raises a good question that I wanted to pose to you. I mean, what does this mean for, because Warner and DC, they want to do what Marvel is doing with the Avengers. They want a series of movies, and I mean, this was their launching point, and it didn't do. I mean, it made some money. It made some serious money this weekend, but I mean, it's getting panned. It's
getting panned, and it's not quite making the money it needs to make, and that's the big challenge that they face. Is that this movie almost needed to make $1 billion just for them to come close to breaking even, and that may be difficult to do. So that's a big impediment. You're right. They're supposed to make this into the Avengers. So we're getting a Wonder Woman movie, which is pretty much made at this point, so there's no stopping it. But there was also supposed to be an Aquaman movie. There's supposed to be a Flash movie. Those are kind of being put on the back burner. There's a question whether or not there'll be a new Batman standalone movie with Ben Affleck, because, these things cost a lot of money. So, they're already planning to do a Justice League movie, kind of bringing all these characters together. And that may be where they go, figuring that's the safest financial bet, and let the other movies just kind of go away, unless they can capture some sort of spark. They can capture some attention. They can make Justice League a much better movie than people think it might end up being.
Oof. It'll be interesting to see how they play this out. That's for sure.
Yeah, all I know is a whole bunch of people made a ton of money, so, they shouldn't feel too bad.
Well, and that kind of goes along with my argument that they shouldn't have gone with Ben Affleck as Batman, beside my personal thoughts on just the way, he's not Batman to me, but on top of that, he probably demanded a lot more money than, some other person would have, obviously, so.
Well, this is a studio thing. We need a star. We need a name that people know, and they know Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
So, rather than going with a couple of unknowns, let's not take that chance.
All right. Good argument. All right. All right, Willie, when we talk again next Friday, what are we chatting about?
We'll be talking about Melissa McCarthy in The Boss.
Ah, yes.
Scared.
Starting to see some big promotion behind that. We'll have to see how it's going to be.
I'm hoping. I'm praying. I'm thinking it might be good. You never know.
It's kind of a different role for her, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk again next weekend, or next Friday, Willie. In the meantime, have a good one, all right?
All right. Talk to you then.